Well, hello, good morning, happy Monday. Um, I will sit here for a minute and, oh, let some folks stream in. I hope you all had a wonderful Mother's Day. Dave and I did. We had a very nice weekend. Visit from our daughter, who lives 3.5 hours away. So that was really nice to have her pop in. And then I worked a little bit in the store yesterday. So anyway, if you are hopping in on Facebook, I can't see the comments on Facebook because I'm streaming through YouTube. So if you think you would like to ask some questions as we go, and you can get on YouTube, I would do that. Come over to Sheet of Heaven on YouTube, and then I can see your comments as they come in, because it's really nice when people ask questions. So let me see, how do I get, so I can see the comments. Let's see. No, I guess maybe they'll just come in. I'm still kind of new to this. Anyway, today I want to talk about, I often in my shows, I talk about the importance of being grounded. And I always say you got to be grounded in order to lift. But I wanted to, get a little bit more into that subject today, a little bit more in depth, and let you know why it really is important for your well-being and your spirituality, your physical body, your mental mind, to be grounded. And what does that mean? Being grounded means that you are fully feeling yourself in your body, and that you feel a sense of peace and connection to the earth. There's so much, we are so stimulated these days. Our minds are overstimulated with information, and things oftentimes are not pleasant. Hey, Joey. Hi. So I can see comments. Oops. Kicking my tripod. Hi, Stills. Hey, guys. So we are constantly on sensory overload now. And much of the information that we're taking in is not pleasant. And so, hi, Pam. So it causes, in addition to whatever's going on with us personally, it causes even additional stress. And your mind is never really still these days in this world. So the importance of being grounded, what does it mean? It means that you are fully in your body, and that you are able to discern the moment. So being present with yourself, being in the moment, and feeling stable in your human form. Hi, Kathy. So that's part of being grounded, and there's so many different ways to achieve it. But what happens is there's so much anxiety and stress and overload, and just, it keeps us scattered. And so when folks are, hi, Wendy, when folks are trying to lift in spirituality, there's a great reliance and focus on raising our vibration, because raising your vibration is how we grow and how we increase our spiritual connection with ourselves and with source. But in order to lift, my favorite saying for almost 25, 30 years is, you can only lift to the extent that you're grounded. Because if you put too much focus on lifting, raising your vibration, enhancing that spiritual connection, but you're not in your body, you're not balanced. And so what can happen is you just go flying. We all know people like that get so light and so high that they have trouble sort of being, well, what would be the right word, practical, if you will. And so it makes us feel a little bit flighty and off balance. So if you're grounding, then you're balancing that, and it's always important to be balanced. My whole thing is, again, we work so hard at being spiritual and trying to raise our vibration, being the best versions of us that we can be, and being in our truth and sharing our truth. that we forget the lower chakras and how important they are. So grounding, I always like to send people through their feet and into the earth chakra, which is about 2 feet below your feet, so that you're really pulling up that earth energy. One feeds the other. If you're grounding and you're connecting through the earth, you're also then bringing that earth energy up. If you are connecting to the earth, if that's your intention to connect with the earth, the converse is also true. You're going to be pulling that beautiful earth energy up. And the earth is one amazing way to ground. If you're feeling like you're out of your body, which means that you're feeling flighty and not connected and you can't focus, go take your shoes off and walk through the grass. Sit under a tree. Literally, sit under a tree and just connect with the earth and take those moments to be still and quiet. Our minds are just so busy now. We got a nice group in here. Thanks, guys, for coming over. I can't see the comments in Facebook. I'm just going to look at. I made a few notes today. So there's a lot of ways to get grounded. And of course, I'm a crystal girl, so I'm going to talk to you first about crystals. So many other ways to do that. The black crystals are perfect for grounding. Each one of them has a similar energetic vibration, and then each of them have their own contribution. Of course, black tourmaline is the go-to grounding stone. Black tourmaline will protect your auric field. I call it your personal protection, the black tourmaline. And you can do that in your auric field. For those of you who may not know what that is, you've got, your etheric bodies. You've got layers of your etheric bodies that reflect and mimic those layers within us in a physical body. So you've got what we call an auric field. So black tourmaline is going to fill that auric field with protection and grounding. It absorbs negativity. So you've heard me say this many, many times. If you work with black tourmaline, you got some heavy duty stuff going on. Hey, good morning, hon. Then you want to make sure you clear that black tourmaline often, because it's absorbing all of that change that you're making. You can also use black tourmaline in your home. I love having it by the front door. If you have rooms in your home where people gather and there can be some discord, throw some black tourmaline in there. Can't have enough black tourmaline. So that's sort of the go-to stone. It's prolific. It's everywhere. It's not always very expensive. Hi, Nanette. So it's easy to fill that space. Fill your space with black tourmaline, because you can use little pieces. You can use many of them. I don't know if I have this on my website, but I've got a 1 pound bag for $45, which has over 100 pieces in it, little pieces. And then we have big pieces, huge piece by your front door with, my brain just went blank. Sardonyx. Your front door, black tourmaline sardonyx is great. So that's black tourmaline. The next one I would talk about is jet. This is going to go more than 15 minutes. Jet is a carbon material, so it's very light. It almost feels like you're holding air. Jet repels negativity. So if you're working in an environment where there's a lot of negativity, hospitals, EMTs, paramedics, firefighters, anybody who is in an environment where there's just that rush of pain and suffering around you, jet is amazing because it repels negativity. So if you're carrying a piece of black tourmaline in your pocket and you have a piece of jet in your other pocket, you kind of got, some heavy duty protection there with those two stones, jet, black tourmaline. Then you get into some of the other. Shungite is one of the most potent minerals out there right now. And it not only does it protect you and heal you, it is the best for removing EMFs. So if you've got a computer, if you work in an office, you want a piece of shungite near you. These are all stones that are going to ground you too, get you back into your root chakra, down into your feet. And then obsidian. So obsidian is kind of, has its own little vibration because it's really a glass. It's a volcanic glass. And in that regard, it's very reflective. So when you're working with obsidian, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that as one to just grab for grounding. It's going to take you inward and help you work with those internal mirrors that you have. It's kind of a pulse to your personal pieces that you want to work with. I always call it the shadow side healer. We all have those little areas within us that we need to look at, want to look at, so that we can heal and move forward. So black obsidian is, although it's black, is one that I would recommend more for personal use. But in that regard, it will also ground you in that process. But I always recommend that if you do work with black obsidian, that you're really ready. Hi, sweet girl. That you're really ready for some internal work. There are other black stones. The idea of the black is that it's very earth-based and very grounding. You can also work through the root chakra, because being in your body also means that you must address the root chakra, which is your fight or flight. The root chakra represents how you fit in your life. Who am I in my tribe? And is my tribe stable? Is my life in this tribe stable? So when you're going through breakups, changes, anxiety, stress, all the things I mentioned earlier, this overload, this social overload we have, you want to make sure that you're working with your root chakra and keeping your relationship with you and your life cohesive and stable. So you could work also with some of those root chakra stones. A lot of the root chakra stones will also ignite your prana or your chi. And so that will help your life force. So working with, red stones typically are considered root chakra stones. There are basics like that. The colors of the stones match the colors of our chakras. So give and take. Usually if it's a certain color, it's going to work with that chakra, but the energetic vibration spreads wider than that. But basically speaking, red stones, root chakra. Red jasper is great because it, Stills, no worries. Yeah, we're just hanging out. We're just hanging out and chatting. So you can always shoot me a comment or a question later too, hon. I do chat back. It's really nice to have you guys here. So what else? Oh, so those are some of the go-to crystals for grounding. But other ways that you could ground is yoga. Yoga's fabulous because it begins to control your breath. And your breath, your life force, is your ability to really connect internally with yourself. That's also part of feeling grounded. You've got to be in the moment, guys. And that's a practiced thing because it's so easy to react to what is going on around you. And so I sort of taught you the other day, oh, there I go, doing that thing I do again. Let me see what I do with it this time. And I look forward to the next time that happens so I can really see how I'm doing with it this time. So that, the breathing connects you back into your body and allows you to connect with the internal self. I can't stress how important it is to stay grounded. So yoga, meditation, connecting with the earth, hiking, planting gardens, getting your hands in the dirt. If you're a real earth person, you're doing that anyway because it comes naturally to you. You don't have to think about it. If you're what I call an earthbound person, you're really connected, which also means you're probably pretty grounded. But we all have those moments where we just scatter out. So in order to stop yourself from reacting and bring yourself back to the moment so that you can contemplate and think about what your next emotion or move is, brings you so deeply inside that you can approach whatever's coming at you with dignity and grace. So anyway, let me see if I missed anything. Oh, I wrote hematite down. This is another one, guys. Hematite's amazing. Hematite is another similar to jet. It's going to ground you. It's metallic. It will protect your space. It's very protective. When I used to do a lot of teaching, I always had hematite in the corners of my rooms rather than black tourmaline because it's so effective in holding that space. So hematite's another one that is really amazing for just protecting the space around you. Why is that important? Because if your space around you is protected, you have a greater ability to be able to channel within without all the distractions. So, still have a Moroccan chair. Yeah. So, any questions, you guys? So, staying grounded allows you the space to be able to lift higher. I'm famous for telling you we're in Earth School here. We came here to be Earth beings, to be humans, which means that we came with an agenda. We had a plan when we arrived of things that we wanted to do and accomplish. So in order to do that, it's super important to stay in your body and stay in the human essence. And then lift into our spirituality. But if you're constantly working on lifting and raising your vibration and you are not grounded, you're losing that connection to your promise to yourself, the appointment you made with yourself to come here and get through the accomplishments. Hi, Candace. So that's why I continually say, stay grounded, people, stay grounded. Because if you're grounded, you can really, really appreciate the lift. Lifting stones, I'm saying lift, we're raising vibration. We're constantly doing that. We spiritual people, we're always working on that. And quartz, clear quartz is so overlooked these days. Because it's not colorful. A lot of people are going for the really, colorful crystals. Clear quartz is your master healer. It is, it's a mimic. It's an enhancement. It's an amplifier of vibration. It's an incredible stone. It's one of the easiest to program. So clear quartz, get tons of it around you. Get tons of selenite. Hi, Megan. Get tons of selenite around you. One of the ones that I really love is apophyllite. That comes out of India. It comes in white and green. Typically, you can get red. It's rare. Red apophyllite is rare. I think Joey has a piece of red from me. But the apophyllite it has that, earth energy from India. And then it's, again, very, very high vibration. The highest, in my opinion, you can use I call it phenacite. You'll see it spelled phenacite with a C. Sometimes you'll hear it called phenakite, and it's spelled with a K. It's the same crystal. One of those, smaller than the nail on my little finger, will send you directly to source. So phenacite, if you can't afford phenacite, because those babies are spendy, you can get petalite. Petalite will do pretty much the same thing. It's a little slower, which in many ways is better for most of us. Because if you're not attuned to lifting that high, that quickly, the phenacite can literally drop you back in a chair if you're standing up. I often have people sit down before I let them hold it. So, hey, Megan. Yeah. Megan, that's, I don't have a lot of mom stuff in here, but that shelf is one that Trucks made. He made that for all of us. Trucks, by the way, if you guys Megan is my niece. And this is an important day for you, Megan, that I acknowledge. But anyway, so Megan is noticing that the shelf behind me that has crystals on it is one that my father made. And the grandchildren called him Trucks. So, yep, that is the shelf designed by Trucks. And then a ton of my crystals back there. I have a massive, see if I can get my finger on it because everything's backwards, a massive quartz in here. She's my generator. She keeps everything going for us. All right. If I could get the other kind of stone, if I could get the other kind of, I'm not sure I understand the question, hon. If I could get the other kind of stone, but is it best? Oh, the phenacite. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I have them all on my website. It's only a fraction. If you've been on my website, there's like 3,000 items out there, but it's a fraction of our inventory. So I don't have everything on the website, but I have phenacite from Brazil, which is probably the most popular and most common. I have phenacite from the Ukraine. And the interesting thing about the phenacite from Ukraine, they're small, but they are double terminated. Very, very interesting. And then I have Burmese. Oh, my phone rang and it knocked me out for a second. I have some pieces from Burma. The Burmese is so tiny. I don't know how anybody actually works with it. They're little shards, itsy bitsy, amazingly powerful, like incredible. So I have 3 types of phenacite in stock. You can always rewatch this. Any other questions, you guys? I hope this all makes sense. It explains a little bit why I'm always barking about that. Nope. Nope, Megan, you are 100% right. She would want us down here celebrating her life instead of mourning her. Where would you keep those tiny stones? Great question. You got to keep them in a safe place. When we ship them, the little ones, they come in a little little covered mineral box, and you could keep them right in there, and then they're not gonna, the cats aren't gonna knock them over. So you could take it out and work with it. It's so tiny. You could probably, they're potent, so you could probably even keep it in the little mineral case and still get the energy from that. Okay. Let's see if any more questions come in. But I think I covered kind of the basics of the importance of grounding and how to do it. I sit on my porch and listen to my birds. There's something, when I go to a zoo, I could just sit in the aviary all day. There's something about birds for me. So I'll sit on my porch and we feed the birds. We get all kinds of bird feeders out there. We get tons of birds. And I'll sit there and just meditate. Another way to ground, unless you're one that goes so deep that you get out of your body. But because that's a breathing technique meditation, again, the breath takes you back into your body. If you live close enough. Oh, Joey, thank you. Yeah, we're in upstate New York. I have 2 stores, and they're both in Queensbury, New York, which is 45 minutes north of Albany. It's called the Northway. If you were coming out of Albany and heading to Montreal, you would be, I think it's 86. I don't even know because it's just the Northway to me. But you get on the Northway heading toward Montreal, and then you take exit 19 and we're a mile away. It's really easy to get and worth the drive. Even if we have people that drive, hours to shop with us because we have such a huge selection. But thank you, Joey, for mentioning that. All right, you guys. If you watch this later and you have comments or questions, or if I didn't explain something fully, just pop it in the chat. If there's a subject you'd like me to cover, that would be really helpful because I have to sit here like this, like, what am I going to talk about today? So there's no limit to subjects, that's for sure. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching, for coming in. It's a pleasure to see you all. It's so much fun for me to, be able to share. So I will see you probably Wednesday morning. Bye-bye.